All right, here we go, guys. Another one for you here. This is a 6 kilowatt, 2.5G high acceleration machine. And we're working in Texas. We're working in the Ramsey headquarters here. And this is a new install, but a little bit of a different way of doing it. Kind of migrating more toward A, doing less laser installs, and B, arranging it so that experienced customers can come to me, get 2 to 3 days of training in our shop, and then we'll load the machine up and then let you do a self-install, and you'll be included as part of the teardown, so that you can see how to put it back together when it gets to your shop. And all the hard stuff will be done. It'll literally be reconnect it all and fire it up and get going. So this is part of the training, a few clips here. If you want to impress your wife, show her your fly cut.
That's awesome.
No. You see the big rooster tail? Ready? You know what? Sometimes it's more about showing what goes wrong and what to look for and what to have, what to do when it goes wrong, than showing all the right stuff. Because, once you learn the right stuff, you're going to know that it's going to be natural to you. It's what happens when it doesn't go right, and so you got to have a willingness to kind of use your eyes and ears and watch and understand exactly what's happening. And you'll get that over time with experience if you're new to lasers. And so I try to teach that during an install. And you saw right there, we had an issue with the way that was cutting. But anyway, this is Mike and Betty Coleman from Dry Fork, Virginia. And I've known them for quite a while, but back in December, Mike ended up getting a press brake from me, a 5-foot 70-ton Precision Series, and he's just been killing it with it, doing a great job, and absolutely loves the machine. So then as soon as he got that and got it up and running, he started asking me about lasers, and we were going back and forth, and so I sort of made this arrangement with him to come to me for training and ship the machine, and I knew he had a lot of machine experience. He's got, Haas mills and other stuff there. It's not his first rodeo. He'd be able to handle it. If you're kind of a newbie or coming from a plasma table where you didn't really even master the plasma, you probably would struggle with doing this with a laser.
Ready?
So if you have a laser already, a 1G or 1.5G, which is what most of the machines in this class are, but they're typically sent out at running at about 0.5G. And if you try to turn them up to what they're rated for, they'll just really act up and cause problems and throw servo alarms, and or they won't make round holes. They'll be, making egg-shaped holes. So you can see by how the video is that if you compare what you're seeing here to how your machine runs, there is no comparison to a high acceleration machine. Like I said, when you become a professional laser operator, you can nail it on the first try. See that? First try right there. So when you get good with lasers, the one thing you'll notice is you don't even have to ever make any first attempts or anything. You can just nail the cut right off the bat. And we're going to demonstrate that here. Phone's not focusing. There we go. So here, you know, again, we're cutting with a 6 kilowatt. This is a Ray Tools BM06K head that I really like a lot. I also like the Osprey that's on the machine sitting over next to it. They both work well. And then, so it's a Max G5 6 kilowatt power source. But you can see on the oxygen cutting, we're getting some really nice results here. And, you know, I don't know, I was just joking around about the first try. This was about our 10th try, I guess. But we got it nailed pretty good. 3/8 carbon steel on oxygen, cutting, I think, around 80 inches a minute, something like that. And then I think this was 3/4 inch, if I'm not mistaken. I saw videos on my website on how to dial these in if you've already bought a laser and you're maybe struggling with it. But a quick tip that I cover in the video, but when you're trying to dial in a new material, you can see the gaps between the holes there on the material. Don't keep having bad cuts back to back to back on carbon steel. Oh, yeah. You'll never get a good result doing that. You really have to jump around and keep the heat saturation out of the plate. So you look at some old crusty 1-inch plate that's been around my shop for a long, long time. And it's so funny, you know, I had kind of gotten a little cocky, confident with dialing these things in a certain way with a certain type of nozzle, the 6 kilowatts with the Ray Tools head. And this one dialed in was pretty easy. This was about a month ago, by the way, this video. And then I was down in Florida this past week dialing in one that I'd sold quite a while ago, and then he also bought a tube laser, so I was by there to just dial in some things. And man, it kicked our butt left and right. We really struggled getting it to work, and it just goes to show you how finicky these are. You can see that 1 inch, really nice result there for the max of a 6 kilowatt, which is 1 inch. And here you can see, you know, some various results that we were getting. You can see some of those cuts are pretty bad with some deep serrations. And then you can see some of those over there. Again, this is just a random selection of that I'm showing you here. Some were after we got it perfected, and some were when we just, you know, we're in the middle of dialing it in. And then here's another look at it too, a little small piece of 1/2 inch. And the one thing you will notice is, you know, in oxygen cutting, the thinner the material, the easier it is to dial in and get a nice edge. As you go up in the range of what a given power source can cut, the more serrated the edge will become and the more tricky it will be to get it to pierce and dial in and all that. So now we jumped over next door to the 6 kilowatt 5-axis bevel head machine. And we're just cutting out some shipping brackets that are going to bolt to the leveling feet bosses to make it easier to chain this machine down. And so we got Mike's machine all disconnected. You know, we did that when he was here so he could see it all. And then now we got it out in the middle of the floor, and we're just getting everything ready to ship it out. And then so a couple days later, here's a shot, you know, kind of unrelated, but this is an 8-foot brake going out to Nebraska. And that's Matt loading it down, and just kind of a funny video. This guy, you know, obviously a bigger man. He maybe struggled a little bit getting up and down, but he found a good friend there in Matt to help him get up and down. But the next video clip was one that I made for Mike after we had everything ready, just showing him the details and showing how we had it all staged. And then after that, you'll see us getting them loaded out to Dry Fork, Virginia.
Easy peasy.
All right, Mike, just a quick video, let you know we got everything staged and ready. So chiller, transformer, stabilizer, air compressor, your cabinet, fans, hoses, all right there ready to go. And I was just gonna show you on the laser. Obviously, it's way overkill to use this 52,000 pound rated forklift to lift a machine that weighs 10,000 pounds, but it's the only forklift I have that has 8-foot forks, which you really kind of need for this, or fork extensions. It's just easier. We actually love driving this big forklift. It kind of seems awkward at first, but it's pretty fun actually once you kind of get the hang of it. But here you see Matt loading up the air compressor, and we did have his air compressor, testing it, running it, cutting with it in the shop, and then we just disconnected it. They come, ready to run with everything, with oil and everything in it, so it's just a matter of wiring it up. But here you see the truck leaving out, Conestoga rig. We pretty much almost exclusively use these now with the built-in tarp system. I think Conestoga is one of the brand names, but it's kind of like Kleenex for a tissue. It's kind of become the standard name. Everything arrives in good shape. You don't have to worry about tarps rubbing and flapping on machines and scraping the paint off and all that. But anyway, easy come, easy go. A couple days later, here's, we had a slot open there where Mike's machine came out. And then here you see a couple of FATMAX machines getting unloaded. Pretty fun, again, to use the big forklift on that. Big thanks to Matt. Like I said, and also Mike and Betty. They're awesome to work with. Just really had a great time with them for a couple of days here. And you can see the FATMAX there in the slot that his machine came out of. So, all right, guys. Well, we're going to leave you with some shots of the FATMAX bending up something. And then at the very end, you're going to see some pictures and videos of the machine arriving in Dry Fork, Virginia, and then getting up and running in Mike's shop. And then here's the machine as it arrived up in Dry Fork, and you can see they used a crane here. Awesome way to unload a machine like this, or any machine really. The crane is really the way to go if you have access to one. So here you see Mike's got the machine all set up really nice in a cool spot. I think he's got the workflow right. You see the material rack behind him, and then his wife Betty sent me this video. I think the orientation of the phone was a little off or something there, but you get the idea. You can see the crane in action. And then here's a few clips of Mike running the machine. Just I think within a few days of him getting it, he had it all up and running and was making production parts, nesting, big nests of parts. And I think I believe these are some stainless that he was actually bending on the brake as well. But anyway, guys, we're going to wrap up this video, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.